Okay guys, making a mod on the Power Smart 24-inch snowblower. This is like 500 bucks on Amazon, and you know, if it lasts me 2 or 3 years, I'd be happy. It sounds like from people's videos, there's tons of videos on YouTube. I'm not gonna make a video about all the things on here because you can watch lots of videos on that. What I am gonna do is just show you the mod that I made. And I've only used this for like probably 30 or 40, probably 45 minutes. Anyway, these skids, now this is modified, but this is what the original skid looked like above my hand there. This original skid right here just bolts to the side. These were digging into the ground, and some of the ground was soft. And you know, I already broke a shear pin in 45 minutes, and I was throwing rocks and hitting rocks, and my driveway's pretty flat, you know, and I was still picking up rocks, and I was like, oh, I'm not happy with this at all. So, you know, we talked about making a bigger skid out of wood, and I don't have anything but pine. Of course, if you watch my channel, you know I try to make everything out of steel that I can. So that's what I did here. And basically I just took an 1.5 inch angle here, cut a triangle out right here, and then bent up the bottom and then welded it closed there and there. This is 1-inch square tubing right here. Hopefully you can kind of see that. It's kind of hard to see with the paint. But this is 1-inch square tubing that I welded into the bottom here. And then I just welded this to the top of it, front and back sides. And so it's pretty sturdy. Now, of course, after all this work, I was like, wow, why didn't I just make this out of square tubing, which I could have done. That would have been easy to do. You know, square tubing, cut a triangle out, bend it up, weld it closed so it's all sealed inside. You know, nothing will ever rust inside, because obviously this is going to get a lot of moisture. And then just weld on a thicker plate on the back and then cut slots. But I'm just not a fan of cutting slots. It's a pain. It takes a lot of time for me. I'm not good at it. And so I thought I'd just reuse the original bracket. So that's what I've done here. And this gives me a lot more adjustability. This bracket fully extended only got the bottom of the snowblower about 3/4 inch off the ground, okay? And then what I noticed was over time, as I was pushing it more and more, when I got it back to the garage, even though I tightened these down really tight, these had settled. And so this had pushed way up here, and that's why I was picking up so many rocks also. So a couple things there that went wrong. But basically, if it does collapse, I'll still have some good height out of it. You know, I won't be hitting the ground with the front edge, or almost hitting the ground. And it's a lot wider. And so hopefully this will float a little bit better. I tried to put the angle, you know, line this all up. So the angle that I welded on was in line with this side to side. So I didn't have a bunch of angles sticking out way out here, because I like to go kind of close to my deck. And so I want to go right along the truck and right along the trailer and pick up as much snow as I can. So I tried to keep it all as much inboard as possible. In fact, I almost reversed the whole thing and tried to stick the whole thing inboard so it's stuck in here. But then I thought, well, maybe it won't pick up as much snow there. Anyway, so this seems to be a good width. I'm going to try it out, let you guys know how it does. And the first mod of probably many that's going to happen to this snowblower, I don't know. The LED lights are kind of mediocre. They're a little bit bright, but once that thing gets covered with snow, they really don't work very well. Otherwise, this thing started right up, right out of the box, and it's run and it does the job. It did come with a few extra shear pins. I'm ordering some online. I'll put a link down below where I found shear pins. I've got to find an extra belt for it too. I want to keep an extra belt or two on hand, because that's what seems to be the two problem areas. People run out of shear pins, and then they put a bolt in, and then of course that screws their gearbox there, because this will catch on something or pick up a piece of wire. And I actually picked up a piece of wire, a long piece of wire, like 16 gauge wire from a car, and it wrapped all up, and that could have been what broke my shear pin also. Anyway, all that stuff, you know, you want to keep shear pins around, you want to keep an extra belt. I don't know, we'll keep oil in it, keep gas in it, maybe it'll keep running. A lot of people have good luck with these. It sounds like, you know, it's just like anything, it takes a little bit of maintenance, maybe a little bit of massaging to get it perfect, but this thing worked really well right out of the box. You know, my wife was really resistant to this, to getting one of these, and she's like, I'm not using that. I'd rather use a tractor. Well, the tractor doesn't fit everywhere. You know, some places you can't run the tractor right along the edge of the truck or the trailer, right along the edge of the house. You'll hit the deck and, you know, wreck the deck. That 55 horsepower Mahindra's, you know, 6,000 or 7,000 pounds. It's, you know, if you hit something with it, and I've wrecked fences and hit buildings with it, and it's merciless. It destroys stuff. So it's nice to have this for smaller stuff. Anyway, I started using it. She was like, oh, dang, I want to try it. So she started using it, and then she's like, I'll definitely use this thing. This will be fun. Maybe it'll snow. Well, it's snowing right now. So we've got them both on here, and I put a 1 inch tall socket under here just to hold it off the ground 1 inch, because I'd like to leave about 1 inch of snow on the ground when I'm going over my gravel driveway. I don't have any concrete here or asphalt, so it's all gravel. So I've got to keep this thing up in there a little bit. And so that's what that 1 inch socket's there for. Okay, so we've got it plugged into the cord there. We're going to put the key down, put the choke to half, give it a couple primes, hit the button. So hopefully this will work better for me, and it seems to work pretty good on smushy ground. So if it's frozen, it should work pretty well. And so what I did was, just to locate it so these wouldn't accidentally slip up again, is I just kind of put it in the middle. This is about 1 inch of clearance off the deck here. And so I drilled a hole right here and just put a bolt and a nylon lug nut on each side. So there's one there, and there's obviously one over there as well. And so if I ever want to make it higher, I can drill another hole, or make it lower, I can drill another hole. So that gives me a little bit of adjustability if I ever decide to do that. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope this video helped you. Be sure to subscribe and look for the link at the end of this video. Once I get my next video done, we're going to talk all about how this thing works. So if there's some kind of problem with the drive, or some kind of problem with the auger, if it's just not working, there's several things that could go wrong, from the handle to the pulley to the way it interacts down here. We're going to look at all that stuff. We're going to look it over. We're going to learn some things together. And I actually had it break on me, so we're going to get that fixed also, and I'll show you where mine broke, and yours might break there too. And it's an easy, cheap fix. Yeah, so a lot of those fixes are easy fixes. And if you understand how it works, then you kind of know what to look for when it's time to solve a problem. Maybe you never have to open it. That's awesome. But if you do, check out this video, because it should be pretty helpful. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you in that video.